Welcome to Badlands National Park! Badlands National Park is located in South Dakota. People are drawn to the rugged beauty of the Badlands. These geologic deposits contain one of the world's richest fossil beds. The Badlands was established as Badlands National Monument in 1939. The area was redesignated as a national park in 1978. Badlands National Park contains the world's richest Oligocene epoch fossil beds. The oldest formation in the Badlands is a 65-million-year-old layer of black rock called the Pierre Shale, which was formed on the bottom of an ancient sea. The next layer was formed during the time period of Eocene and Oligocene epochs. These layers hold fossil bones of land mammals. Countless animals lived and died on these plains, their flesh and bones consumed by predators and scavengers. Those remains left intact were buried by periodic floods and converted into fossils. These deposits constitute one of the richest fossil beds known. The great variety of Badlands fossils has given the Oligocene the name Golden Age of Mammals. The Badlands are a type of arid terrain with clay-rich soil that has been extensively eroded by wind and water. Canyons, ravines, gullies, hoodoos, and other such geological forms are common in the Badlands. The Badlands usually have a spectacular color display that alternates from dark blue, black, coal strata to bright clays to red scoria. Some of the most famous fossil beds are found in the Badlands, where the forces of erosion have exposed the sedimentary layers and the lack of vegetation. Ancient mammals such as the rhino, horse, and saber-toothed cat once roamed here. The park's 244,000 acres protect an expanse of mixed grass prairie where bison, bighorn sheep, deer, pronghorn, prairie dogs, and black-footed ferrets live today. The Badlands climate is variable and unpredictable, with temperatures ranging from -40 degrees Fahrenheit to 116 degrees Fahrenheit. The summers are very hot and dry with occasional violent thunderstorms. Winters are typically cold, with 12 to 24 inches of total snowfall. Extremely high winds are common year-round. Sudden and dramatic weather changes are common in the Badlands. When you're ready to travel to the Badlands, it is suggested that you wear layers. Also, come prepared with hat, sunglasses, wearing sunscreen, and with adequate water for hiking in the warm weather. At Badlands National Park, weird shapes are etched into a plateau of soft sediment and volcanic ash, revealing colorful bands of flattening strata. The park consists of very diverse parts. When viewed horizontally, individual beds are traceable from pinnacle to pinnacle, mound to mound, ridge to ridge, across intervening ravines. Viewed from above, the bands curve in and out of the valley like contour lines on a topographic map. Deep canyons, towering spires, and flat-top tables can all be found among the Badlands. Yet, despite their complex appearance, they are largely a result of two basic geologic processes, which are known as deposition and erosion. The Badlands terrain did not begin eroding until about 500,000 years ago, when water began to cut down through the rock layers, carving fantastic shapes into what had been a flat floodplain. The ancient fossil soils, buried for millions of years, were exposed once again. Many of the layers are gently warped and faulted due to the mountain-building activities that formed the Black Hills, which are 70 miles west. Erosion is ongoing. Every time it rains, more sediment is washed away. One day, a peak may tower above the land. The next, a storm may weaken it just enough for it to crash to the ground. While the Badlands are permanent in human terms, they are short-lived on a geologic timescale. Erosion rates suggest that they will erode away completely in another 500,000 years, giving them a life of 1 million years. Compare that to the age of the Earth, which is approximately 4.6 billion years. Even the Rocky Mountains, which are considered young, started to rise only 70 million years ago. On average, Badlands erode 1 inch per year. However, change can occur much slower or faster depending on things such as the slope, aspect, parent material, and rainfall. As the Badlands buttes erode, some of the sediment is washed into the prairie below. building its level while the rest is carried by small streams to the White, Bad, and Cheyenne rivers. These tributaries flow into the Missouri River, which drains into the Mississippi River. Eventually, some Badlands sediments will travel as far as the Gulf of Mexico.
Wow.
The Badlands were deposited in layers. These layers form soft sedimentary rocks composed of minute grains of sand, silt, and clay that have been cemented into solid form. Geologists study sedimentary rocks to determine the type of environment caused by the material to accumulate. Layers similar in character are grouped into units called formations, with the oldest layers at the bottom. The Badlands is most famous for all of its different fossils. In the Badlands, for field work, the paleontologist's tool of choice is a soft bristled brush, dental picks, and small trowel. Field specimens are jacketed or carefully encased in plaster and burlap for transport to the storage facility to await preparation for study or display. Paleontologists study animal tracks and plants preserved over time, as well as bones that have been converted into fossil through natural chemical process. Additionally, other signs such as feces and pollen have been fossilized and are studied to help get a broader picture of life in prehistoric Badlands. The area around in the Badlands National Park has a long association with research on fossil vertebrates. Scientists have been using this area as an outdoor laboratory for over 150 years. Tips on protecting fossils given by the Badlands Travel Guide are: leaving fossils where you find them. It's something to pick them up and take them with you, but don't. Removing them from their context destroys much of the information critical to scientists. Context refers to where they are found, geologically, and in what position the fossils are found. Also at Badlands, there is a museum. Fossil specimens are maintained in storage facilities for research purposes or for display in museums and similar educational facilities. Each specimen is assigned a unique number for the larger collection of which it is a part of. This process of cataloging specimens includes critical information such as where the specimen was found, when it was found, and identifies it with as much detail as possible. This process enables scientists of the future who may have more information or improved technology to continue learning about these important fossils. Something cool about the Badlands is that the staff of the Badlands National Park plan to develop wayside exhibits describing the history and scientific significance of the site. The exhibits will be on site near the Katona picnic area and will feature a mural which depicts the area 33 million years ago. The mural and its exhibits should be completed by the end of the year 2012. The layers of Badlands National Park from oldest to youngest are Pierre Shale, which are black layers deposited between 69 and 75 million years ago during the Cretaceous period, when a shallow inland sea stretched across, which is now the Great Plains. Sediment filtered through the seawater, forming a black mud on the seafloor that has since hardened into shale. Fossils such as clams, ammonites, and sea reptiles confirm the sea environment. The layer above that is when the sea drained away, with the uplift of the Black Hills and Rocky Mountains exposing the black ocean mud to the air. Upper layers are weathered into a yellow soil, called the yellow mounds. The mounds are examples of fossil soil. The next layer is called Chadron Formation, which was deposited between 34 and 37 million years ago as a river floodplain that replaced the sea. Each time the rivers flooded, they deposited a new layer on the plain. Alligator fossils indicated that a lush subtropical forest covered the land. However, mammal fossils dominate. The Chadron is known for large, rhinoceros-like mammals. During the next 30 to 34 million years, in the Oligocene epoch, referred to also as the Brule Formation, was deposited. As the climate began to dry and cool after the Eocene, the forest gave way to the open savanna. New mammals like sheep-like, herd-like mammals began to dominate. As this epoch continued, a thick layer of volcanic ash was deposited, forming the bottom layer of the Sharps Formation. This rocky Ford ash serves as a boundary between the Brule and Sharps. The last and lighter colored Sharps Formation was primarily deposited from 28 to 30 million years ago by wind and water as the climate continued to dry and cool. Volcanic eruptions to the west continued to supply ash during this time. Today, the Brule and Sharps form the more rugged peaks and canyons that top off this beautiful national park. Badlands National Park is famous for its fossils across North America and is an immense geological and cultural region of South Dakota.